Hi everybody, Stephanie with Mama Bear Inc. Welcome back to another card making video on my YouTube channel. Today is Shake It Up Friday, and we are going to be making a rather involved shaker card today with a lot of steps, so we're going to dive right in. We're going to be making some embellishments with UTEE, which is ultra thick embossing enamel. And so in order to do that and pour it into a mold, we need to melt it down first. So I'm just pouring the UTEE into the melting pan. Going to put the lid on there and let it melt into a liquid form. I've got my molds out. These are silicone molds. The blue ones are by Martha Stewart. The yellow ones are ones I got on Etsy quite a while back, and I'm sorry I don't remember by who. And they are sitting on a silicone mat, and it's just a baking mat from Wilton, easy to find in most craft stores or kitchen stores for that matter. So we're just filling up all of those wells, and now we need to let it cool down. So we're going to talk about our paper choices for today. And what I'm using is a card kit that I purchased on eBay from a seller called Old Paper Cat. And she puts these kits together using Stampin' Up! Plain cardstock, coordinating patterned paper, and I'm not sure if it's from Stampin' Up! Or not, and then some ribbons and twines and gemstones and doilies, that type of thing, that are all just color coordinated. So they're fun to work with and they're inexpensive. I think I picked this up for less than $5 with everything included. I think it was a pretty good deal actually. And again, you can find her on eBay under Old Paper Cat. And so the colors in this are Pool Party, Melon Mambo, and Daffodil Delight. So you can see there that the inks match. Now we're not going to be using the Stampin' Up! Inks today, but those are the colors that are in this particular kit, and she has tons of them, all different. The other thing we're going to be using, we're going to be recycling a blister pack. Now this used to have Studio Calico wood veneers in it, but we are going to be using it as our shaker portion. And we're going to be using some Spellbinders dies that I happen to have that fit around this thing absolutely perfect to frame it out. So we're going to cut our patterned paper to make our frame. So I've got that rectangular die down there with some painter's tape. I'm just going to put that in my Cuttlebug sandwich, and we'll run it through the Cuttlebug to cut that out. And so now we have our frame that's going to fit on the front of our card, and that's where our shaker box is going to be. So you can see how that frames that out nicely. And the inside piece, we're actually going to flip over and use the back side to be the background of our shaker box. And so I just chose a piece of Daffodil Delight. These are already cut to 8.5 by 5 or 8 by 5.5 for you. So I just scored that down the center at 4.25. And that was the patterned paper I was going to use. Our UTEE now is all cooled, and we can pop our little pieces out of the mold. And so you can see that little butterfly. I did wind up breaking that when I was trying to clean it up though. Too bad. And there's our big butterfly. So they do come out kind of neat, and they take acrylic paint pretty well. I was surprised actually. I thought it'd be maybe beating up on it or something like that, but no, it took acrylic paint very well. It had to kind of pounce in some of those flowers just because they're quite dimensional. And so I just covered everything in white and then put some color over top just to give it kind of a light finish. And I will tell you, acrylic paint is not good for nail polish. Moving on to the front of the card, I'm laying down our frame. Now I did make a mistake here. It was wrong side up. But I marked the corners so that I could put that inside piece down in generally the right area. Got that taped down just with some regular old tape runner. And then I took my finished UTEE pieces and kind of placed them where I wanted them, because these aren't actually going to shake. We're going to glue these down. So I'm just using some Tombow Multi-Mono glue. Yes, that's what it is. And gluing those pieces down to the front of the card where I want them within the shaker box. And then I'm going to use these really big iridescent white sequins inside. Now I'm going to stamp my sentiment on the shaker box itself, and the best ink to use for that is StazOn, and I like white. The only thing with white is that it dries out really quick, so you basically have to re-ink it every time you use it. Took this wood block stamp and fit it on the inside just so I had some or a stable place to stamp, and inked that stamp up real well. That's a Paper Tray ink, one of their Think Big sentiments. Straight down, straight up, careful it's slippery. You can slide around if you're not careful. That one turned out good. So now we are going to add our sequins that our UTEE pieces are nice and glued down and dry. So we're going to add our sequins, and I was trying to get them in and around the pieces as best I could because I didn't know really how well they were going to shake around those pieces. So I just laid those down, and now I'm going to put some Tombow again around the outside edge of the shaker box. All the way around. I don't want anything escaping, although those are very large sequins. I probably wouldn't escape. And then just do my best to get that on there just so. And just holding it down to make sure that I've got a good seal all the way around the edge. So again, nothing can escape. Alright, now we are going to fit our frame on there, and I did go ahead and cut about 1/8 of an inch off each side of that frame just to give it a little bit of a border of that Daffodil Delight. Using Tombow again, just a bit around the edges, and then we're going to fit that over the shaker box, and hopefully everything lines up, and it did pretty well. Not too bad. I did get some glue on the yellow, and I just used my magical glue eraser tool, and it takes it right off of there. Nobody ever knows that you got glue everywhere. And so I'm going to fold the card now and just burnish down that fold line real good with a bone folder. And that is going to complete our shaker card for today. I really like the way it turned out, and I probably will use this technique again. So thank you guys very much for staying and watching and hanging out with me today. I appreciate it, and I look forward to talking with you again soon. Take care.